I'm going to read a poem, since I'm not going to read one about death, I'm going to read a story so far. This is a poem that is in a way a contemplation on the words of Pablo Neruda. In one of his poems, it's the title of the poem as well, where it says, "Poetry arrived in search of me." And in a way, it's trying to understand why I write, what I write about, and what motivates me. And at the back of it somewhere is the image of my grandmother somewhere. Standing at the crossroads, the hour of choice chimes across deserted doorways, sand storms through gaping windows. The signposts have been used to sell counterfeit identities. The hurricane lamplight is now the nightshade of horse. Here I stand, wishing to recall, wishing to retrace footsteps, to unlearn, to recognize, to gaze without blinking rudely when light is scarce. In the story so far, mother of my days, she carries a water pot. The journey never strained her smile, or while others complained of battle fatigue, cracked lips, skin scaling from fingers, she said, her soul danced in the window of the full moon sky. Her body oil lit the night, and at dawn she distilled her kisses in embryos of dew. Here I pause, wishing to recall, wishing to retrace footsteps at the first cutlass swing descending upon broken syllables, clinging to cane root. Looking up from the muted leaves beneath my feet, rain clouds gather above the mountain tops, parched and dry. The air is feather light. A flood threatens to wash the weak and feeble out to sea. Sharks and rotten timber await their coming. At the crossroads, a funeral passes. The grave is at my feet, between my toes. The earth is moist, the earth is ash, the earth is lifeless clay. It sticks to my skin, it congeals my blood. The funeral passes away into confused sermons, leaving a drizzle in the misty air. In the story so far, she carries a water pot, holding the ocean and its fuming currents. Her breaths touch my lips, where dry blood left a shell. Silence shed its muted sound like skin drums in flight through steamy forest nights, and something thundered, roaring deep, journeying to somewhere. The path before me loomed familiar. The path before me stood calm with mystery, a stillness between departure and arrival, a bridge of corpses balancing between my delicate strides. What meaning make these tongues persist? What power tries to force a sound to stamp a shadow here? What volcanic passion seeks melodious release? What ecstatic fate commands vision into action? In the soul, the healer's hands molds fire like bread for food. In the story so far, the old woman closed her eyes, raised her head, gave her breath back to eternity. The wind made music, sometimes calm, sometimes gentle, sometimes with the fury of an awakening, rearranging the unbalanced ocean tide. Against the silhouette of her face, my fingertips took flight. Her body all lit the night, engulfing me in an embryo of dew. Her own pain and praise, sealed with a nimble knife and fever thirst within my spine. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to read the title poem from my book, which is called My Grandmother Sings to Me. My grandmother sings to me, a song entwined with the voice of my mother. Our mother sang when the daylight dawned. On awakening from the womb, she sang the songs of the newly born, an off-key wailing that sentences parents to servitude. The crystal river's turquoise waters of an island flowed and ebbed to her voice. Her song settled over Rockstone, Riverstone, Benego Bay, Wharf Bay and Granance. She sang to her grandmother Harriet, and cooled the hot macadam road that burned bare feet as they walked over the lands. Her song lies in the embroidered pillowcases of Miss Doris, who taught her to sew. It lay warm in the oven-baked bread of her mother. Her song was ground into cinnamon with pestle and water, sliced into chipped coconuts of sugar cakes, bubbled with boiled yam, fig, dasheen, stewed with damsons, boiled slowly with guava jelly, guava cheese, flattened into cakes of barring. This song, sliced into the belly of jacks, shed their iridescent scales, made split pea soup overflowing with dumplings, ground corn to make ashen, lighted oil lamps as the sun's rays slipped from the swaying horizon. When, ocean-weary, the children of Noah arrived in an inhospitable land, her song grew faint, floated to the clouds, melted into the screeching of gulls. Her melodies, searching for solace, were resurrected between cold pews and life-giving Sunday morning sermons. Each child born added harmony to her song, 6 children forever singing at the hem of her skirt, demanding from her the world which she gave. Our songs will never leave you, and yours will not leave us. My grandmother sings to you as she sings to me, and you, my mother, have sung to me as I now sing to you.
Another one impossible to choose between, but we're going to have to. So for Imruh, can we hold up the green cards? And for Maureen, can we hold up the red, please? And I think Maureen, you have it. Well done, Maureen Roberts.